Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Cryptic Crypto, bringing you crypto news on a daily basis. Remember to do your own research. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, and my own insights around the coins that I'm covering, and where I believe the market will go. So please click like and subscribe if you like the content. We just broke 100 subscribers. I want to build that as much as possible. Only 5% of you that are actually listening are subscribing. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps motivate me to do more videos. So first of all, I mean, wow. Look at that, a sea of red in the market right now. Top 100 down pretty much 4% across the board. I'm actually down 5.2% if you looked across all of these. Solana's had a massive hit to the downside. So is ADA. Clanker's absolutely dropping. But I'm not worried. I'm still incredibly bullish around the market, and here's why. So if we actually look at the market now at this point of recording, I was incredibly bullish here. We entered the trade around about 143. We came all the way up. We took some profits. We've come back down to retest. Could we retest this sloping line of support? That was resistance, which I now believe is support, to go push back up again. I would like to think so. Again, volume is down, and there is obviously a lot of sell pressure, which we'll run through a little bit later on. But I'm still incredibly bullish on Solana, and again, we've already taken some profits. If we look at XRP, look, yesterday I believed that we could, if we broke this line, we were going to absolutely smash it. And my next position of where I thought we were going was hopefully around the $2.60 and up. We've obviously hit this line of resistance, come straight back down, and we are now at $2.17. Again, we took some profits of this. I did bolster my trade as it began to move up, and to be honest with you, I'm probably going to bolster my trade if we begin to move down. I'm going to be bullish on this. I do have a stop loss around the sort of $2 mark, because if we the 190 mark, because if we come down below that, then I think we could go lower, which for me is not a bad thing. It's all around making the most of this market. I've got my spot bags and I've got my future bags, and like I said, I'm doing the 500 to 5,000, and the only way I can do that is by making profits on the daily. And I'm not just going to run into trades unless I truly believe there is upside. I only long during bull markets, and yes, I think this is a bull market, and I'll short in bear, but primarily I am a bull right now, even though on the day it's looking quite bearish. But in the long-term picture, I'm believing that the XRP is going to go up, and we haven't even begun to touch the sides of where we're going. And if you look at this, like I said, from a Bitcoin perspective, I believe this is quite a long-ranging bull flag. I mentioned yesterday that this for me was resistance. I was hoping we would break up and turn this into support. But I was under no illusions that the likelihood is that we're going to test this a number of times before breaking through, and that's when we'll see a real push to the upside. What we've seen here is it's obviously hit the sloping line resistance and coming down. That means for me, we could go all the way down to 99,000. And to be honest with you, at the moment, I've taken profits on this trade. And then my next stop loss is around about 104,000, which we'll run through. If we break that, I would have taken out all of my trades on the futures perspective in a profit. And my view is that we could break down, and around about 100,000, I'll probably begin to add to my futures, because I believe it's going to go back up. Obviously, if we break below this, and I don't mean just wick below it, I mean actually break through this and print below here, then the overall market sentiment for me might be a little bit more bearish on the short term, but not on the long term. And again, when we look at this, I mentioned yesterday, this could be a double top. If we look on the daily, we've come all the way back down, 4 days in the trot. Bitcoin dominance has been coming down. Price was remaining the same, and everything was looking pretty positive. Bitcoin dominance has gone up, but the price has gone down, which is obviously having an effect on the market and is overall, you know, that's something that we need to look at in terms of our futures trades of where we are. I'm not going to enter any more trades right now from a short-term perspective. I want to see where we go from here, and you know, look at the charts. Like when we begin to look like it's bullish, or if overall sentiment is really low and we are cascading down, I'll begin to DCA. I'll dollar cost average in because I am confident that the price will go back up. And you know, from my perspective, everything that I hold, I strongly believe in. You know, XEN, like I said, I made a lot of profit back in January, sold a lot, got a lot staked. Now I will be bullish when we break this. And again, we've come up, we've tested, coming back down. Cool. We might come all the way back down to 1 cent. And when we come down to 1 cent, my expectations would be for, you know, this particular trade to be relevant, that we should be beginning to bounce back up again. Again, XEN, I do not future trade. I only hold and spot trade. And when we actually look at like some of the sentiment, again, going back to why am I so bullish, that Bitcoin balances on centralized exchanges are dropping like a rock as people listen and remove them their assets to self-custody. You know, like this only puts more pressure on the exchanges to obviously hold this. They can't trade without actually holding Bitcoin. And I generally would recommend that anyone that's holding any crypto assets has it in cold storage elsewhere, because it's the only way to fully protect yourself with your keys, etc., and stuff like that, so you don't get caught on a hop, skip, and a bounce. Now, Elon is and Mr. Trump are beginning to have a bit of a domestic again. Look, this is from the BBC. Donald Trump threatens to set Doge on Musk as pair feud again over budget plan. This is not good for the markets. Two of the most powerful men in the world, one the president, one of the richest men, having an argument around, you know, how the world should be run. And this big, beautiful bill has been quite a talking point from Elon Musk's perspective. We thought Donald Trump and Elon Musk had sort of become friends again. It's not looking that way. And obviously this is not good for markets in terms of, you know, what you want to see is generally, you know, consistent messaging and people believing in the strong message, and then you know, markets can continue to recover from that perspective. But bickering on social media, arguing over policy and change and tariff changes and rate cuts and all those different things are not going to help the market, and ultimately are not going to help the assets. Now, if you haven't seen Credible Crypto, definitely check him out. I mean, some of his price targets are pretty insane, and to be fair, I hope he's right. But if we look at the XRP Bitcoin chart here, you can see, like, look, we have been trending down. XRP has been worth less and less and less as a general consistent against Bitcoin. So I've got a bit of hay fever. But we are now consistently trying to go above this level here and buck the trend. We've had you know, potentially a double bottom here, but we're coming back down again, probably likely to retest this. Once we begin to break this, XRP price will begin to increase. I love this caption. Anyone that's a Lord of the Rings fan, you shall not pass. Definitely haven't so far. But it's time. Haha, love this. But Credible Crypto, definitely look out. He's got some great videos highlighting some of the market sentiment out there, and I definitely would have a look. Now, I wanted to have a little butchers at Jerome Powell, sorry. When we look at this, look, this is not good again. We're talking about more bickering from one of the most powerful countries in the world, and he said he would have cut rates already if it wasn't for Trump's tariffs. Now, he has not ruled out the fact that they could cut interest rates this month, which again is bullish. It basically means that they'll probably be switching on the money printer. Fantastic. Assets like Bitcoin and crypto should begin to move up. But again, this market sentiment of everyone having a bit of an argument with Donald Trump is generally not good for your coins or my coins from that perspective. Yeah, XRP 230 fake out. Do I think it was a fake out? Let's have a look. Not really. To be honest with you, like, admittedly, you know, it's one of those things. If you've held XRP for as long as I have, You always get excited when it begins to pump to the upside. But again, like it came all the way up, we bounced all the way back down, and that's why, like, just some basic TA here can really help give you a better picture, because you want to be buying down here. You do not want to be buying up here. You don't want to be FOMOing in. And admittedly, yesterday when I did the video, I was looking at the chart. I think I even mentioned, cool, are my lines in the right place? I think I might have messed up here. There's a bit of a pump going on. And when you actually break it down and you look at it, you're like, yeah, we've literally hit that. We can come all the way back down, to the sort of 190 region to go all the way back up. But I do think we're going to get more and more condensed here. The Bollinger Bands, let's have a look. Bollinger Bars. But they're getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and this will only squeeze the price action. So, like, the tighter they get, we're going to go up, or we're going to have to go down. And my expectations over the long term or mid term are that we'll go up, and that we will break this trend line, push to the upside, and everyone that owns XRP will be happy. The crypto has the same momentum as crypto, Grayscale crypto, large cap ETF, including XRP approved. Look, there's going to be ETFs holding your altcoins, your Solanas, your XRPs, your SUIs potentially. I mean, there is nothing but bullishness within the market, and you really have to focus on the long term, not the short term. One day of terrible news and market sentiment going down and prices pushing down doesn't mean it's not. This is a day in crypto. This could go down another 7%, another 12%, another however much. Look, Clanker, 0.2% up, but like it could continue going down for the next few days, and I still won't be bearish. It's all around, from a futures perspective. Looking at, well, fingers crossed, I get a better opportunity to enter the market at a lower price, and my upside and my risk is higher. The best time to trade, was probably when that Iran and Israel stuff kicked off. You saw a huge wick down across the board. If you would set a futures trade up at the bottom, you would have had a huge upside by now, and you would have been well in the win from that perspective. Again, zoom out. Think about the strategy. What is the news in the world? What is going on? And look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the front leader. UniCredit to offer Bitcoin exposure to professional clients via BlackRock. Bullish. BlackRock powers Bitcoin ETF to a 15 straight inflow day. Bullish. Bitwise doubles down on 200,000 Bitcoin price target. Bullish. Companies are buying. Strategy is set to post 13 billion Bitcoin gain. I think Strategy is going to be part of the S&P 500 as well. Let's have a little look. Qualifies for 500 consideration on Bitcoin Strategy. Michael Saylor's strategy has 91% chance of joining S&P 500 according to analysts. I mean, crypto, Coinbase is already part of that. Like 3% of the overall investments within the US is 3 trillion is crypto. So if you are not in crypto, you are actively deciding to not have a participant or not entering any form of investment within a key part of the investment strategy out there. So, like, my view is, don't put all your eggs into crypto. Make sure you mitigate the risk. Make sure you only invest what you're prepared to lose. But ultimately, I'm incredibly bullish on crypto, and I'm not here for the short term. Yes, we've gone 2% overall down on market cap, and we were 3.32 trillion the other day. Yes, altcoin season was 22 yesterday, and we're now at 20 in terms of that barometer. But zoom out, have a look at where we are and what we're looking to achieve, and what you are focused on in terms of profits. You will not win if you're buying when everyone else is buying. It's all around buying when market sentiment is low. If we literally looked here and you bought all the way down at 74,000, now we're at 105. You've made huge gains. But yeah, 100%. If you bought at the top, 108, 112, you're probably not too happy right now. So don't FOMO in when it's like this. Like I said, if I'm entering these trades, I'll be entering as we're coming down, or at least dollar cost averaging as we're going down. I'm not doing anything right now today. I've taken profits on a number of different trades. I think some of the trades, like I'll show you, like some of the trades, you know, to 500, like this is obviously off the 500. I've sold a significant amount. So from the $500 we initially traded, you know, I've now got $455 of dry powder to enter the market again at those points. Yes, my ETH trade is down 4%. I'm not that bothered. I can DCA down if I wish. Yes, XRP, cool, $10 down. Oh God, but we realised $8 worth of profits. Nothing really, right? That is because we had an original price of what, $2.02. We came into the market, and admittedly, you know, shouldn't have entered that trade. I should have waited until we had obviously printed above that line and gone for it. When we look at the Bitcoin, yes, we entered at 103,000, market price 105, but look, we've already taken some profits. The CRV trade, we already took some profits, and now we've got dry powder to enter this market as it begins cascading down. I need to look at, you know, after this video, in terms of, you know, what are my targets and when will I be beginning to enter or bolstering my trades in this market. I need to see obviously where we close today from a daily candle in terms of Bitcoin, but I do think, you know, there could be some downside before we go back up, but I am still bullish. Overall, guys, that's a bit of a market update for today. If you do have any questions or anything like that, comment below. Like I said, I'm going to continue doing these on the daily for my own motivation. Obviously, please like and subscribe, tell your friends about it, and yeah.